supposed to be doing, or we are going to be doing SOC, but just to pick on you guys' interests, I'm going to share my bug bounty screen. Okay, so how many of you know what bug bounty is all about? If you know, please, can you speak up?
Hello.
Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
I think, to my own understanding, it's like a program whereby you hunt for threats and you get rewarded for it.
Exactly, 100%. Exactly. So I actually want to pick people's interest on what is out there in the market, what is on the table, what most people leave out of the table. So see, this is a let me log in so I could see fresh uh, projects. Day by day, I'm understanding more on how to make, there's a difference between educating yourself, then making that education work for you, especially financially, so that you could have return on investment and not just anyhow return of investment, doing it in the least possible cost effective way. Why is it? So I find out that being um, specific to a particular section or sector is very, very much important. How many of you here know about music? If you probably have idea of how to play any musical instrument or the other. Anyone? Nobody. Chooks, you don't know about music. Genesis concerts.
I know a thing or two about music, right? But I don't play musical instruments.
Oh, okay. Okay. Fine. What about you? Okay.
I am with you, but I'm on transit. Maybe
Okay. It's all right. No problem. It's all right. So, what I wanted to bring out from there is while I was returning back from training today, uh, there was a music school behind or beside the class. So I stepped in there and, played, had some like 15 minutes playing, and everybody was like, wow, wow, wow. So you could play very well. So you could play very well. So I could play. I smiled. When I told them that I could only play on one key, everybody was quiet, like, wow. So it's not about the amount of knowledge you have, but how deep have you specified on one particular area. So I think a footballer said, someone said, I'm not afraid of someone who can kick 1,000 times or who has mastered how to kick 1,000 times. But he said, I'm afraid of someone who has mastered how to make a particular kick. Who has used 1,000 kicks to master one particular kick. So I learned only one key on the musical instrument, the keyboard, and that was what I've played throughout till now. This is over getting to 20 years plus in the music industry. I play in weddings, ceremonies, church, and nobody knows because of what technology, of course, is there, and being able to maximize one thing and stay on it perfectly. It has paid its own bills too in my life. So the same thing is what I seem to be understanding in this field, which we grow in every day. You have to find it within you before the end of the program, which particular area you want to focus on. Because if it is for the concepts and everything, there is so much of everything and anything online. There's so many things you could think about learning, but you need to in this boot camp before you finish. That's one of the best things you could do to yourself. Find out one particular niche or area you want to focus on so that when you apply 1,000 energies on that particular thing, you will come out the best. Not just on that particular thing, the best also on other stuff because so many other people will be going about trying to do so many things in the field, but you that is specifically doing one thing, you come on top. Your name will go on top. So this the bug bounty, just like you explained, is a program where you go hunt for vulnerabilities. When you find them, you report them, and you get paid. So on my screen here, I'm increasing it a little bit. So on my screen, I have which company is this? Can you
Oppo.
guys see? Oppo,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's Oppo. That's a mobile, what's it called? Phone
company, right? Yeah.
company.
So they are paying up to 11,000, and they are looking. They put out. It's a programs that allow hackers to collaboratively submit vulnerabilities. So they put out the stuffs that they want people to search for, and they're paying up to 11,000. Then the next one is bike here. The next one is New Egg, Epic Games, Scythe, and these are when you go to they say we have 464 opportunities for you. Program type, you can choose between program type, asset type, industry. If you want to to it on, if you want to hunt on any type of industry, maybe consumer goods industry, automotive, agriculture, aviation, etc. I think Apple also did theirs recently. So companies come and enlist themselves here in most of these programs so that people like you and I could be able to search for vulnerabilities. See Slack. Slack is paying from 500 to 20,000. Booking.com is paying 150 to 3,000. Toyota, hey, even Toyota. Okay, this program does not offer bond. Okay, they are not paying in theirs. Hyatt hotels offering from 300 to 10K. Okay, so CrowdStrike from 250 to 10K. When you go down, you might be able to see even companies that you and I are very much acquainted to. So this is just to let you know, guys, know that learning is not just enough, but to put into practice what has been learned. And all this, you might get this as a level one or even a level two. By the time you tend towards being what's it called, a master, probably a year or two, 3 years experience in that particular field, that particular stuff. Some people earn up to a million plus and ahead in a year just bug bounty hunting. And come on, man, if I'm anticipating such, okay, Amazon is paying up to 30,000. Me myself, that is a instructor, I'm anticipating something like that. And that is where I decided to focus more of my energy. I will choose a particular sector. And even in searching for these vulnerabilities, there are lots of vulnerabilities you can search for. You can now choose one or two that you want to focus on so that when you come in, you go straight, look for when you come in, when you accept a program, a particular company's a program, you just go straight look for that particular stuff. If you get it, fine. If you don't get it, you move to the next program so you don't waste useful time. See, and that's another thing about bug bounty is you decide somehow to an extent what to look for. But in penetration testing, they will tell you possibly what you should look for, or you are supposed to look for everything. But in bug bounty, you just specifically say, okay, I want to look out for, I want to hunt for this particular bug. You understand? So I just wanted to pique you guys' interest and encourage you guys more, so that you're already early in the program. This is week 2 we are entering. For the rest of the weeks, even when we start the practical, so that you will get more involved and know that it's not just a regular do a course and get certificate online. This can be a life-changing moment for any one of us here. Okay, guys, thank you very much. That was a little tips, but I hope we all got something from there. Any question?
No question.
Okay, so let's kick off.
I don't know
So
for others.
yeah, you're saying something?
I said I don't know for others, but for me, no
Okay,
question.
okay. Please, if anyone has question, do not hesitate to um, raise your hand or just ask me so that we could treat it. So this week we are on SOC, Security Operations Center, and we are going to be looking at some vital concepts about SOC. Where did it come from? How can one enter into the field, and what are the requirements for entering into the field? So I'm going to try to be um, as theoretical and as practical as possible so that we'll have an idea of this. By the end of, before you finish the program, please request for a hands-on on SOC, especially how to use a SIEM tool. If you don't know what a SIEM tool is, we're going to see it along the road now today. So you will have to request on how to do it. Even if you don't request, by the time you're done with the program, some of those platforms where we will direct you to go and do everyday trainings as a graduate, uh, you will be able to do some practicals there also, which we might not be able to pay for the industry tools currently due to the fact that we're serving an underserved community, and we are also not really into the profit. Because if we're into the profit, our program might be around 300K, then use some of the money, maybe a quarter of the money, purchase some of the industry standards tools. But the fact that we are making it in such a way that everyone could be able to have a piece of the cake, then we'll point you to free open source resources where you can also get that same value. Trust me, where you can also get that same value without breaking your bank. Okay, so let's move ahead. Now, before we talk about the SOC entirely, we look at the entire job market where SOC fits in. First of all, at the outer layers of the job market, we could see the guys that are running the real business, okay, transaction, the sales, exchange of goods and services. Now, below them, the IT team, empowers them to do more, to extend their services, reach out to higher or greater audience. Now, below or behind the IT team, we now have the infrastructure team, which also empowers the IT team to get stronger technologies that helps those that does the real marketing to do it. Below the IT infrastructure team also, we have the IT security, which performs or provides the first layer of security
Okay.
that a product or a business should have, especially when they are running, when they have a piece of technology running their business with them. Now, below this IT security team, we have another team, special team called the SOC, which is what we want to talk about today. The SOC team, which comprises of SOC analysts. and they make use of tools like the SIEM tool or the SOA tool, and also they make use of threat intels. We're going to find out more about these guys below. So, just to appraise, as a civil engineer, you will be in the right position to have a good idea of the skills or the technologies that complement your own work. For example, the architect, the mason guy, the tile worker, painter, electrician, plumber. These guys almost work hand to hand with the civil engineer. So even though the civil engineer is not a plumber, he has an idea of what the plumber is doing, or at sometimes what he's supposed to do. The same thing happens in the SOC. In the Security Operations Center, you should be able to know these guys, their roles, a bit about how they operate. Because one way or the other, your paths might cross in the future or in the working environment. So you have to keep your eyes open. When you're studying at your leisure time, you study wide, but make sure it is a concentrated study, meaning make sure you don't just study, everywhere. When you're studying a particular thing, you study it and study it deep. So the question is here, why are SOC jobs in demand today? Why do we have, if you go to LinkedIn now, where is my page? So if you go to LinkedIn, there's a possibility that when you search for cybersecurity jobs, 60% of them will be focused around security operations center. Why is that so? So I'm trying to open the LinkedIn. How many of you here has a LinkedIn page?
I do.
Okay. Chooks, do you?
Yes, I do.
Okay. If I incur, I trust you should have one already. So please, as you go through this program and record your success, try as much as possible to update your progress on your LinkedIn page. The recruiters, the HRs, they are watching. They are watching. Most times they will prefer to pick a junior when they are open for junior roles. So please do not keep your LinkedIn connections on the dark during your program. Why is it not happening? Okay, later we'll check that out. So why are sub jobs in demand? Okay, the cybersecurity skill shortage is getting worse. Um, the news, cybersecurity snippets carries, and some other news outlets. I think for those of us in Nigeria, I think the few months ago and this year gave rise to the news about cybersecurity, even though it has always been there, but it's kind of waved up a little bit. Why is it in what's it called in the air? Why? The impact of COVID also added the drastic increase in need for cybersecurity jobs because now people could work remotely, and then when they are working remotely, they are using their own devices, and using their devices, most of them are not trained very well on how to stay safe online. So the jobs are always there. There is a popular myth about cybersecurity where people say that cybersecurity is difficult and it's only for hackers. But during this program and ahead, we already found out or know that cybersecurity is not just only for hackers. There are fields that are meant for other professionals or other IT personnel or other people who are not, what's it called, hackers to be in the field. So, like I told you, there is a lot of everything to be learned. You see the cybersecurity domain, you see physical security, you see everything. How you're going to succeed is to stay on one lane, be specific on one thing, so that when you become a king there, then every thing you're looking for, especially financial and career wise, will be fulfilled through that. So, Security Operations Center, SOC. This domain only started evolving since 2015, and 63% of cybersecurity job opportunities are in cyber security in Security Operations Center. Has this open? Why hasn't the LinkedIn? I can't believe I'm having network challenges. Okay. And also, it has a low entry barrier currently. For those who will be joining the field maybe in the next 10 years, the barrier, the entry level requirements will be more steep than what it is today. So currently, it still has a low entry barrier. And new certifications are coming up also, just like the ISC2, which everyone here should prepare to take your ISC2 exam. Prepare to take it. It will be a thing of joy that at the end of this boot camp, when you sit for the ISC2, you pass it, or you pass it maybe a week or 2 weeks after this boot camp. It will be a thing of joy. You will be happy with yourself. So please put that at the back of your mind. All the aid and help you need, we have it. We'll give it to you. Your own is just do the work, go sit for the exam. And it's free for now. The only person it is not free for are those who fail the exam and wants to resit. To those people, set of people, it is not free for them. They'll have to pay $199 to resit for the exam. Okay, in an IT company, we have several teams: system, network team, endpoint security team, network security, information security, security operations center, which is going to be our focus. We have the application development team, database team, IT help desk, cloud virtualization, vulnerability assessment, and identity and access management. All these teams are available. Remember, the material will be made available to us so that anything left uncovered, we could always go back and read it through. So I'm going to jump all the teams because those are stuff you could just literally read up. I'm going to go straight to the Security Operations Center team, which is where we need. Besides, before then, this particular team, InfoSec team, you see, this is also a part under cybersecurity, and the GRC, which is the governance, risk, and compliance.
Yes.
Yeah, GRC. So, for those who are policy loving, audit loving, management, project managers, etc. This field also they can do very, very well. You don't have to do any coding, you don't have to do any hunting, you don't have to do any bug bounty. All you have to do is be good with your policies, learn how to write the policies, risk management, performance management, and you control activities. This also is a very strong pillar in cybersecurity. It's called the GRC, governance, risk, and compliance. Actually, the legal part of cybersecurity is being controlled from here. So you see, they conduct regular audits, they draft security policies, they adhere to regulatory compliance, and they conduct user awareness training. I think a system that someone is trying to reach out to us so that we could help them train some bankers on, to give them awareness training. So I'm also playing in this field, and that is why I'm a tutor currently, because we give out awareness training to individuals and institutions to keep them abreast with happenings and how to stay afloat in the tech world so far as cybersecurity is concerned. So going down to Security Operations Center, which is where we're focusing on, the material is available on our group, on our folder. So you could, all those pages we just skipped, if you so much have interest in them, you could just go read them up. They are not much. So the Security Operations Center, look at their job description. Can you read it out? What did they do?
They monitor, they detect, they investigate, and respond to cyber threats.
Simple. That is what they do. That is what you do in Security Operations Center. You're either in the monitoring team, detecting team, you're in investigation, you respond to threats depending on your level. When you come in as a level one analyst, SOC analyst, you are most likely going to be on the screen monitoring. Then you'll be trained on how to detect so that you can know what to monitor and what to detect. Then as time goes on, you will learn. While you're monitoring and detecting, you will be writing reports. The reports are being, what we call them in this field is tickets. You make tickets, you write tickets about what you monitored and what you detected. Then when you grow, when you ascend up probably to level two, you start responding to incidents, or start responding to the tickets that others, junior ones, have written. You understand? So
Yeah.
it is a gradual process in the growth arena. It is a very, very gradual process. So they use tools in the SOC environment. You will use some tools, and one of them is the SIEM tool. And SIEM is an acronym for what? Who knows? Any idea? They are below us, so we're going to find them. Acronym for SIEM. SIEM actually is Security, Information, and Event Management.
Okay.
SIEM. SIEM. What did I say it is?
Security, information, event management.
Yeah, Security, Information, and Event Management
Event
tool.
management.
Yeah, or system. So what this guy does in short is there are tools, or there are, let's say, for example, a company that has its structures, its page, its products, everything working, and they want to monitor what is happening in their system. So they employ the use of firewall, web firewall, their antivirus, they have their webcam, so many tools or their systems lined up. So, you know, every device that is connected to the internet keeps logs. Almost every device connected to the internet keeps logs of what is happening, what is transpiring between it. So, these logs are being drawn in or received by the same tool. And what does the same do? The same filters it and brings out the logs that are malicious, highlights them for you so that the SOC analyst could be able to focus his energy on the right places. So, out of all these logs now that are here. Which do you think needs your attention the most? Did you get me?
You read.
How so?
Yes, the red one, because red stands for danger. So possibly this might be a level 12 or the highest level of impact. Then yellow, okay, orange, okay, blue, normal ones. But once you're on the screen and you see a report or you see an event with the 12 or the red signal, you know that this needs an urgent attention. So that's the job of the SIEM tool. The SIEM tool filters events. That's why it's called security information and event management. It filters events and these logs and brings out the most pressing ones to the screen so that the SOC analyst, which is you and I, who are watching the screen, we are watching the screen to know, to detect what is happening. So when we come online, we'll see the ones that are red. We say, okay, this ticket that is this event that is red, I think it needs more attention. So you treat it first before treating others. Now, example of this same tool is a tool called Wazoo. There are other higher tools like Splunk, NTOP NG2. I think NTOP NG is used for, but not necessarily for. Uh, I don't think it's used for event management, but during Yibu's practical, when you're going to look up for it, Wazoo, this is Wazoo H, WAZUH, Wazoo. During Yibu's practical, you're going to be using an interface that will give you what Wazoo gives. So it's easy for you to relate to what is happening. So let me, aha, now the LinkedIn is up. So let's go to the job section and let's search for, which job should we search for? Let's search for cybersecurity, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's search for cybersecurity. Cybersecurity. Okay, cybersecurity. So we have security analyst. This is already a SOC job. Cybersecurity specialist, also a SOC job. Security engineer, okay, this might be a little bit away from SOC. Network security specialist, most times too. SOC analyst does this. Network security engineer, cybersecurity governance and risk analyst. You see, this one we
That's
just
GL.
passed now. Yes, the GRC. You guys see it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this sorry, the cybersecurity governance and risk analyst. You see where this
Yeah.
one falls in. So for someone who
Sorry to
is,
cut you short, sir.
yes,
Yeah, the timer it's on 15 minutes. So
okay. Once it gets to
yeah.
5 minutes, we get a new time because we have some more stuff we need to cover and we need to finish SOC today. We really
Okay.
need to finish. So cybersecurity governance and risk analyst. This under GRC. So that's why I was telling you guys that even people who want to play on the GRC section, they are good to go. Then below we have analyst, network security and standard, whatever. We have IT support. Most of these IT support, security analysts, someone working in SOC can feature in those roles and still succeed. Okay. So compliance analyst. This compliance is also under GRC. You find out that 60 to 70% of cybersecurity jobs online are revolving around SOC, Security Operations Center. So you know that what we're doing is not really a joke stuff. So talking about SIEM tool, let me see if I could open up my own interface, so you have an idea of what this stuff is all about. When we say the same tool takes stuff like this and it analyzes the monitoring, so let's see what that monitoring looks like, what you're going to be monitoring, and how it comes out. So while it is loading, different companies and organizations they attach their the stuff that they want to be monitored. They attach them onto the SIEM, and they are being represented by agents. So, for example, in our company, um, our agents are latched on to some of our clients' devices so that we could be reading logs from there, logs of what is happening behind the screen. If so that if they get attacked, we will be saving them on time. We will get the alerts on time. Sorry, let me clear up the history. Ah, um, Meanwhile, how's the weather over there, guys? Where I am, it's been raining non-stop for a long time now. Chooks, how's the weather over where you are?
It's actually been raining.
Okay.
It's
So where did you guys
been
keep the
raining.
sun? Because I need the sun. I need the sun. I need the sun. My inverters are not charging properly because of the sun. So I need sun. I need the sun.
I think we need the rain. Oh.
I say it thinks you need the rain. Okay. Here is an overview of what a SIM tool looks like. Take a moment and glance through. Okay. Agents. So how many active agents is here? Can you see? Do I need to increase the screen a bit?
11. That's 11 agents.
Good. That 11 agent stands for, let's say, 11 clients that we are watching their systems or their environments for them.
Okay.
Okay, and 3 is disconnected. So under critical severity, we have 0 uh, alerts, meaning no strong hacking or account
Okay.
takeover has been noticed. Under high, no one has been noticed. If you check, it said from rule level what? 15 or what?
15 or
Or
higher.
higher. Yes. Then for high severity rule, level 12 to
So
14.
40.
Then medium severity, we have rule 7 to 11. And we have a total of 14,734
14,734.
attempts or incidents or alerts here. Then under the low ones, we have 27,979. So what I do is when I come online like this, I'll either come straight to this place and click on the group I want to go check stuff, or I'll go to threat hunting, which also takes me into the the interface the more, so that I can get more understanding of what is happening. Then from there, I will write my ticket and see what is happening. So almost what we found out, what we saw in the first page, level 12 and more 0, but it has more. It's now talking about, um, it's now speaking a little bit English more. It says authentication failure, 3,172. So what does this mean? Someone should tell me.
Like an attempt. like an attempt to log in, like a login
Yes,
attempt.
or authentications that failed,
Okay.
a total of 3,127. Then successful ones are 742. Okay. In total, when something happens, whether good or bad, it's an event. Did you get me?
Yes.
When you switch on your system, is an event. It gets logged on the system. When you switch off your system, is an event. So, what differentiates that event from the bad one is the same tool. Because left on its own, we will be gathering events by the events and events and events. You will not even know when the real bad one happens. So the same tool filters all those things that are happening, all those events, and with rules, set of rules that is being configured with, it will now highlight this, give us this kind of screen. So I and you, who are the SOC analysts, who are watching over the screen, monitoring, these are basically what you'll be seeing on your screen. So you say, okay, authentication failures. You scroll down, you look at more stuffs that are happening. The people who have the authentication failure, you when you click on them or when you go into their dashboard, you're going to see get more information down and see where to start helping them. Okay. So, for example, all these things are alerts that you could check and see what is happening. So, in order not to breach some of my what's it called permission rights with the company, um, this the little ones I've showed you guys is enough. But I assure you that when you guys need to have a full view of a SIM tool, is always available on the platforms where you guys are supposed to be doing your extended learning after you've graduated. So those tools will be there for you in your system. You open them, you look around them, they are already simulated. So you get used to it. So when you do them and you come into a real industry or a real organization and they provide you, probably they are using Wazoo. Okay, you're like, okay, I think I know, I've seen this before. I know how this works. You can be able to navigate around a little while before you get used to it. Any questions?
No question.
Yeah, I think my question would be around. I'd like to understand how the same tool it's being configured,
Oh, okay.
and I also want to know this Wazoo that you are using for presentation. Is it a free SIM tool or is it paid service?
If you checked, I didn't just it's not as though I'm using it for my presentation. I went into my work interface. So I
Okay.
didn't yeah, I didn't it's not this is not part of the training as per se. So I had to show you people what I
You
do
do.
when I go to work.
Okay.
So this is an
Okay.
industry tool. This is an industry tool. So I was given access to this tool. But for you guys to
Mm-hmm.
experience what I'm experiencing, at the end
Mm-hmm.
of this boot camp, there is a platform where you can have this
Okay.
at least 90% sequel to this. They must not write Wazoo on it, but where it's been simulated. So you can now look at exactly what I'm seeing. They will even most of the simulations will require you to go search for events with specific details. When you find them, you report them. So all those hands-on stuffs, you will experience
The,
them.
the, the reason why I'm asking it, for example, I know threats, when it comes to threats and vulnerabilities, is relative in terms of the sector or what
Yes,
you're actively protecting.
yes,
So the reason why I'm asking that it's because so that we'll have like a grounded knowledge on how to do the setup or probably to tailor the configuration for
Mm-hmm.
any sector by the time
Mm-hmm.
we are done.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, the question you're asking is not really far from what you need actually, because one, uh, as a
Okay.
SOC managers are the ones who configure SIEM tools and some of the tools being used by the SOC analysts, level one and level two and level three. So you are asking a question that is meant for a SOC manager. When you cross level one SOC analyst, cross level two, on your managerial level, that's where you will start provisioning.
Okay, so
Um, tools.
if I get it,
Yeah,
if I get it clearly, I just need clarity. Is
yeah.
that part of what we'll be learning?
No, no, of course not. Of course not. You are not being trained as to be a SOC manager. You are being trained to be a SOC analyst, at least entry level. But what you seek for, trust me, is not far fetched. If you go on Google now, if you search for it, you will be shocked that the answer you're looking for will just be there. But what about the implementation? So when you get into the industry as a SOC level one and
Mm-hmm.
build your way up the ladder, you will get to the role of the SOC manager who provisions tools used for monitoring. Then you will know how to apply the what's it called, the configurations. And mind you, configurations are basically going to be used from the. I think we did something like this on week one, where we talked about the threat intelligence platforms. So those threat
Mm-hmm.
intelligence platforms, they create threats from different sectors. They've been
Okay.
creating it and they are still creating it. So if you are setting up or configuring SIEM for a particular sector, maybe let's say a health sector, you should now know
Mm-hmm.
what specifically to look for. And also, to give you a little tips, every threat out there has processes and methodologies. It's just they use it, but use it for different um, purposes. For example, if I want to write a website, I'm going to basically use which languages? Either HTML, CSS, or JavaScript, right? Now,
True.
Yes.
I will use those basic languages to write any kind of website. So when a SIM tool is scanning for stuffs that contain HTML, it's going to find what I have. Then it will now know, okay, this is exactly what I used it for or what I'm not using it for. I don't know whether you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay, I think we've exhausted the first minute. So immediately I'm going to share the second link so we join up and continue our class. So having seen the SOAR, he said that Security Operations Center, their work is to monitor, detect, investigate, and respond to cyber threats. They also work with SMEs of other teams to remediate the security incident. They use the SIEM. What is SIEM? What is SIEM?
Security information and events management.
Yes. What is SOAR?
Security
Security
Operations Center.
Operations Center.
Okay, that one is SOC. What about SOAR? SOAR. 10,000 going, 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 gone. Before somebody will go to Google now and check it out. Okay. Then we said something about threat intelligence in week one. Can somebody refresh it for me? What do we mean by threat intelligence? What did they do? Any idea from anyone? Oh, okay. No problem. We'll get to it. Analysis tools too. So we're looking at the SOC, and to be safe to call it the Central to Organization Security, where the application development teams, the systems, the network, the endpoint security, the network security, vulnerability assessment, IAM, and help desk. All of them points towards the Security Operations Center. And one question you would have had to ask was, what kind of tools are we attaching to the same system? Did anyone thought of asking that question? Hello, guys. Are you guys
We are
sleeping?
with you.
Not at all.
No.
Okay. So you
Very with
see,
you.
most of these tools, like from the network team, when they mount all their network equipment, etc., the router, the switches, access points, we have the antivirus, host firewall, prevention system, disk encryption, data loss prevention, all these stuffs are what enables us to read what is happening from the system. For example, if you want to look at the traffic going in
The
and out of the
system.
system, you might be able to find that through the web gateway or the router, so that you see what is going in and out of the system on a outer surface. So I wanted to just point that out there. So evolution of SOC. We statistics have it that Stuxnet was or is the first cyber weapon that was ever designed, and its purpose was simple. What is the purpose?
To bring down Iran nuclear power plants.
Yes, that was the job of this first cyber weapon that was designed. So you see, when countries are talking about cybercrime and treating it as a matter of national what security, because anything is
Security.
possible, anything at all is possible. Yeah. So we've had major attacks from different companies. Many companies have gotten their own bite from the mayhem. So Sony in 2024, 2014, they got um, their own. Yahoo, Visa, Mastercard, Subway, Target, a lot of companies. And also we found out that I think up to 60 to 70% of small businesses, when they are being hit by a cyber attack, they literally go out of business. Like they literally go out of business. They don't have the strength to survive the attack. So now there's a question here: who is safe on the internet? This guy is looking like Einstein, about Einstein. Now let's go into this section. Let's look at this analysis. Please, someone read.
It took 405 days for companies to
We are not
detect.
hearing you. Can you read up?
I said it took 205 days for companies to detect an attack.
Okay.
80 days before the attack, there were indications that the attack would happen.
Okay.
67% of the time, the attacks are detected by an external entity.
Okay. With what you read in your mind, let's look at the graphical approach. So we have from January to December, and on 20th there were unnoticed indicators of something that would happen. It was not noticed from 20th till 2nd of April. It eventually happened. Now, nobody also detected it or tracked it till November 8th, 19th, when it was detected. And even when it was detected, it wasn't detected by the company itself. It was detected by who? Outsiders. Possibly the people using the products. And that is the summation of this analysis we have here. It took 205 days for companies to detect an attack. 80 days before the attack day, there were indicators. What's another name for indicator? Signs. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there were signs that this attack would happen. And 67% of the time, these attacks weren't even detected by the company itself, but by an external person. Why was this so? Statistics also had it that the root cause of this was lack of what? Visibility. Nobody was watching. Nobody had the job to watch. Remember the job role of a SOC. What is the major job role? Number one, monitor, detect, and analyze. So nobody was doing that job. And that lack of visibility gave the bad guys the upper hand into creating the mayhem at the time they did. So, which now gave rise to the need for security monitoring. Remember, we are going where we are going to. We are looking at the evolution of SOC. Why is SOC so important? Now we found out that lack of visibility caused so much attacks, and now we have a need for security monitoring, and that is how the SOC roles and the SOC jobs or were being put to place. Now, another question would be, what should we monitor? Logs, 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 and logs. For every device that connects to the internet, I'm asking now, how many ports do you think every device that connects to the internet has? Meanwhile, ports are like gateways through which the system or that device accesses or does things. Maybe connects to the internet, maybe opens your stuff. Every device has ports. Every device that connects to the internet. So, how many ports do you think are available in any device? Answer, please.
Are you talking of physical port
Okay.
or virtual port?
The ports are not physical actually. So, for example, your phone
Okay.
has your phone is a device that connects to the internet. So, there are ports that are available for use or that are available to be used to run services,
For
whether for configuration, whether for connection to the internet, whether for these. So every device has a certain number of ports available for it. Just give it a guess if you're not sure. How many? I need someone to tell me. Give me a number. Do a random guess if you're not sure.
65,000.
You said somebody is laughing, and I don't know why the person is laughing. Who is laughing?
The same person who answered the question was laughing.
Okay, is the person that answered the question that is laughing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I said 65,000.
Okay, 65,000. Interesting. So, who else has a contrary opinion or another answer?
It's actually
Any other
let
person?
me
What did you say?
say 1,000.
4,000?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Mystifying. I sense you are home now because I was hearing your car door opening. Okay, not to waste much of our time, I think we have 65,500 and either 36 or 56. We're going to find out later, but this is the range of ports that are available in a network device. 65,556 or 36, but we're going to find out when we are treating ports. I think next week should be ports or security, or what's it called? No, next week might be what we're having next week is going to be your IIC2 stuff. Ports is a week before the practical. So after next week, the upper week, we're going to be treating ports, and that will give rise to our practical basis. So now, the devices that are being connected to the system, for example, system servers, security solutions, network devices, these are the stuffs that are being monitored because whatever that is coming in goes through these. Now, with this solution gave rise to another problem, and that problem is ports are not that, sorry, logs are not that easy to read because what you are pulling out from these systems, from these network devices, are logs. Logs of what is happening in them, logs of what is happening through them. And it is through those logs that the SIEM tool that is configured to filter out malicious events will make its analysis. So the challenge that came up says the logs are not easy to read. So we're going to read this now. Trooks, can you read this for us? Read it and let it make sense. Oh, Trooks, I thought he has disappeared. Okay, he's still here. Hello, Trooks.
I'm here.
I know you are there.
Mm.
Can you read this
Okay.
log? Read it and let it make sense to us.
Okay, so I think just my thoughts do.
Yeah, yeah. Feel
The
free.
the that the first number is the IP,
Okay.
and this IP probably hit the domain on the 8th of January 2020.
Okay.
And let me see. So it was a search anyway.
Okay. Good. Where is he
And
searching? What is he searching on? Which platform is it searching on?
It's searching on Google,
Fantastic.
google.com.
Okay.
You've taken it away.
Sorry, I didn't even know that file is live.
Oh,
I clicked on it and it loaded. It got loaded up. I didn't know it was live. Sorry
okay.
about it. Let me bring it back up. See, most times when you're dealing with what's it called, some malware, or it would be nice to be working in a controlled environment. Assuming that's a malware or a virus, believe you me, it has done its work.
True.
You understand me, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So let me get the file back because I was connected to the internet. So by the time I touched it, it ran immediately and loaded the file. Coming up, coming up, coming up, coming up, coming up. Okay, we are there. Two. Okay, sorry about that. So you're doing well. Let's go ahead.
So the search is on Google, and I think it's searching for Mozilla. Is it Mozilla.org?
So
Mozilla.org.
if you look at the search query, after the
Mm-hmm.
search and you get the question mark, you actually see what it typed in.
The log analyze,
Log analyzer.
analyzing the log.
So it's like someone goes online and search what's it called, Jumia Market. So the computer will not put the space. What it replaces the space that you use your keyboard to do, it will use plus sign. Do you get me?
Yes,
Look
I
at what
get
I
you.
mean is when you come to Google and tag search log analyzer, if I'm correct, okay, and you press
Mm-hmm.
enter, what the computer is going to register is log plus analyzer. So it uses the plus sign to join or concatenate words together.
Oh, okay.
So I'm pressing plus, I've pressed the enter. Now look on top here. What do you see?
The plus. Don't press on
I'm seeing the plus sign.
Good. So you understand that we've actually replicated what the guy did. So it has log plus analyzer, then blah, 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 blah. So on Google, he searched for log analyzer, okay? And he
Mm-hmm.
was actually using a Mozilla Firefox.
browser.
So he wasn't using a Chrome system, a Chrome browser. He was using a Mozilla browser, Firefox. Then look at the version of the Mozilla Firefox, and he was using a Windows. He wasn't using an Apple device.
So, but he was using a Mozilla Firefox, but doing a Google Chrome search.
Yes, you know when you have Mozilla browser, you can also
Mm-hmm.
search Google from there. Just like when you have an Edge,
Yeah,
what's it called?
true.
Microsoft Edge. Yes, you're doing stuff like that. Then also it was. Then the rest is okay, just about the system configuration. So now look at the time it took us to, read this one log. Now, imagine if your job is to read these logs and you have like 300,000 coming in a minute. How easy will it be for you to be efficient in your work?
That's a lot too.
Good. And that is where we need AI and other technologies in the industry. Meanwhile, I usually do a hands-on practical here. This particular guy that did this search, let us check out his profile and see who he is. And one of the easiest way to do that is since he left a trail, TRIAL. That's it, right? A trail. What is a trail? Is it AIL? Right, a trail. What is it in English?
A tray is a lead.
Yes, you can call it a lead. Now, this thing you call a lead in cybersecurity, we call it IOC. What is IOC? Indicators of compromise. What did I call it?
Indicator of compromise.
I didn't hear you.
Indicator of compromise.
I heard someone's voice very loud before, and I was waiting for him to repeat what I said.
I said indicators of compromise.
Yes, I was hearing yours, but you weren't the one that spoke up earlier. Compromise. So this lead in IOC in cybersecurity is called IOC, which stands for indicators of compromise. So when you are in the industry and you're looking for a threat, you are going to be picking up all the leads, all the trails left by the person, all the indicators of compromise, his IP address, his physical address, if there is any match there, his website, the things he did, the trails that he left around. Those are the stuffs that you will be picking up on to give you an idea of who this person is. And we already have his IP address, right? At least that's the only thing we could use to do some search now, right? So we are going to do that search to see how this person appears online. And we are going to be looking at what's it called? An open source threat intelligence platform. I think some of us used this in week one. Do you know where we're going to now? What's the name of the threat platform we are going to? Have you seen this before? Chooks, did you meet this on your week one?
Yes, I did.
Okay. CJ Nko?
I think that's the fine you're referring to.
Sorry, Ifeanyi, did you meet this? Ade, what about you?
Yes, I did.
Yes.
Okay, so this is, like I told you guys earlier, this is a threat intelligence platform, and also is open source, meaning it's there in your Google on your phone right there. So we're going to be looking at the what's it called? Let's check out that guy's IP address and see how he stands on the line, who he is, or possibly what he has been up to. If he has been good online, or if he has been bad. So who can remember his IP address? Let's key it in.
1.1.1.111.
I can't hear you, but I know what you're saying.
.111.111.111.
Okay, thank you. Enter. Oh, So, men looking at it, has this guy been good or bad?
Yes, been
At first glance, do you think?
Bad. The same
Yeah,
malicious.
yes. So, um, he's coming from where? Now you can even get more information. You see, just from getting his IP address, the IP
But
address leads you
what if he's using a VPN?
a VPN. Of course, there will always be a redirect. Some people use VPN and redirect. So it's see, most of these things are how do you think? What do you know? You know that it's possible for someone to use a VPN. So when you are chasing a lead, you should now be smart enough to know, oh, this lead leads to nowhere. Or okay, I think I've got the real thing. So, but every lead matters, every lead counts until it stops counting. You understand? So,
Yes, I do.
yeah, you got to make use of what you have first to look for what you don't have. So, look at the country, Japan, etc. What he has been up to, etc. So, that's on that. So let's go back to our work. So we said that we noticed that the huge volumes, up to 25 million logs, can be gathered in a day, which means 300 logs, almost 300 logs in a second. And that makes it practically impossible for a human to sit down on the screen and read. And also, there are no standards on how logs are being created. Linus machine might have its own logs this way. Windows might have its own logs this way. Are you understanding? So, uh, in fact, look at Windows Linux logs. It puts in both the secure hashed, the failed password from root from this, the port number, etc. While on the Windows, we have several informations also. So there has not been any standard way of creating logs, and I don't even think there is till now. Maybe there is. I don't really know. So now we sort out a solution, and that solution is what? A SIEM. Now you understand where the SIEM comes in and why it was useful. The same is the security information and event management tool, like we already know or see. So what the SIEM does, just like we explained earlier, it takes all the logs from all these products or all these devices, and it does some magic, which we already know that those magic are just set of configurations from threat intelligence platforms and some CVEs notice, and they just configure the SIEM. Then it pushes out to us what we can handle on the screen. Any question? Any question? So should I take the silence as no questions? Okay. Silence taken as no questions. But I want to be sure that nobody is sleeping.
At all.
Okay. So let's have a little diving out just to talk about the regulatory part of SOC or cybersecurity. We found a problem, we found the root cause and the solution. In this scenario, there's a problem of accidents, and the root cause is probably the people or the bikers, they don't wear helmets. So when they fall, they tend to break their head or break their mouth. The solution, wear your helmet and you'll be fine, even if there is an accident. But two of us know that do people like wearing helmets? It's a question. Do people like wearing helmets?
No.
Yes, that's one of the truthest answer you've given. People don't usually enjoy wearing helmets. And that is why we have the rule enforcers. So the same thing happens to in the cybersecurity environment. There are rule enforcers that guides and ensures that certain protections are being, issued out for the users and also for the company itself. And all those rule enforcers, when you default, when your company defaults, they will penalize you. Okay, so over the years, some companies have come up to build their kind of same tools and technologies used to do some of this research and event management stuff. Just like I said earlier, we have Splunk, we have Nitro Security, One Labs, we also have Wazoo, we also have Ntop NG. Now, let's drift a little bit into the roles. We are looking at more of the roles now. Security analyst, the team that makes use of the same tool for security monitoring is called the SOC team. And you can see from the diagram what they are actually doing. So it's like they are monitoring. True or false? So nobody is responding to me.
True.
Yeah. What is the time? When did we start? We started the class by 4 o'clock. So this is just an hour plus. Just give me a little time. We'll soon be rounding up. But it should shock you to find out that we are just about half of the material for the SOC environment. Unless you guys want us to um, complete it tomorrow. What do you guys think? Hello, guys.
Well, I was thinking that this today's lecture is for the one that we missed before now.
Which one did you guys miss? This week two.
Yeah, we didn't do week 2 when we were supposed to do week 2.
Yeah, this is the week two then. This is the week two.
Yeah, I know. You are saying
So,
we should continue this for tomorrow, right?
yeah, if as it stands now, I'm sensing some fatigue. If we pause this now and come tomorrow and start from where we stopped, then we can wrap it up. Normally, this SOC is around two
Mm-hmm.
hours plus or thereabout, depending on the energy in the class. That's what I'm saying. I'm just throwing a suggestion. For me, it will be better that we all finish it, but at what cost? If you guys are already feeling tired, then it will be needless to push the limit. So that's what I'm asking. I don't mind taking you guys again tomorrow to wrap it up. It will still be under week two.
Oh, okay.
If it is possible, you just
If I say,
if it's possible with you to can continue tomorrow.
okay, what about Ade? Ade, Ade is definitely sleeping. That I know. Uh-huh. Don't
No, I'm
mind
not
me.
sleeping. I actually muted my mic. It's
Okay,
fine by
so,
me. Yeah,
okay, it's all right.
it's fine.
Okay, so um, tomorrow we will look at. I think we might have to do it quite earlier because I have some classes tomorrow. We'll do it by 10 o'clock. Tomorrow is Saturday, right? Yeah. We'll do it by 10 a.m. We'll just use an hour or an hour 30 minutes and wrap it up. So we'll be talking about um, the nitty-gritties of what these guys do in the SOC, how they operate, the tools they need or the tools they use. If you can see here, say what is the SOC? Basically, they are the first line of cyber defense, eyes and ears of the organization. What do they do? They monitor, detect, investigate, and respond to cyber threats. So we also go down into the people, the process, and the technology, which leads us into the roles. Um, we are saying something about the managerial role before. As a level one SOC analyst, you find out what you're going to be doing. Level two, level three, the SOC need, then as a manager also. So these are the list are the things we are going to be doing tomorrow. And it would be more interesting if you guys go through the remaining part of this material. So tomorrow we could just speed it up within less than 1 hour, and it will be more engageful. By then, if you have questions, you could just compile them, answer them. Hope you guys understand.
Yeah, well understood.
So I'm going to make available this material on your folder. If you go to your folder currently, you will be able to see it. Let me check the folder to ensure that it is there. Drive, where is the drive? Drive. I thought I saw the drive now. So just use 30 minutes or thereabouts, go through it this night. So tomorrow we will be having a fun-filled day so that I won't be much stressed also. Okay. So batch 12, I'm going to ensure that it is available in your.
Batch 13.
I didn't hear you.
I say mine is batch 13.
Yes, I will also check yours. So batch 12, yours is here. I believe so. What is this? Okay. Okay. It's there. It's there. Both the live lecture from the EDMI and also the material is here for those in batch 12. Then batch 13, let's check if it's there. What is happening? What? Okay, it's there also. So you guys are good to go. It's there also. So week three, the coming week is going to be on security domains, where you will be able to start preparing for your exams, your ISC2 exam. You might not want to write it this week or next coming week or even this month, but you will be advised to get acquainted with the platform there, so you can book your examination maybe next month, depending on when you get ready for the exam. Then after week three, we'll go into uh, week four, where we start. I think we're going to start with setting up the lab, then do ports. After ports, we'll go into the penetration testing with Bob's Fit and Juice Shop, which is going to form your capstone project, and the rest will become history. So from next week, it's going to be more interesting and ahead. I will be available to get or to answer most of your questions and hands-on projects. So, guys, thank you very much for the patience to get here. Tomorrow, we are going to be starting on page or slide 45. So, with that, we'll call it a day today. So, thank you very much. Remain blessed and stay fired up.
Thank you very much, sir.
Bye bye.
But
Anyone? What does the
yeah,
SIEM does?
the work of the SIEM tools is to help to filter all our connected devices connected to the device, to filter all those logs there to treat it.
Sorry to cut you short. Where are you from?
I'm from Lagos.
Okay, you're an indigene of Lagos,
Yes,
and Yoruba is your main language, right?
yes.
Please explain it in Yoruba and make it as simple, as understandable as you can on Yoruba.
I can't explain it in Yoruba.
Wait till that happen now.
I can't.
Why? Why? Okay. So I need someone to explain it in their own language. Because that means if you can do that, that means you understand it, the theory of what a SIM does. So someone else should try.
Can it be said that
Stefan, where are you from?
huh?
Where are you from?
I'm from Imo State?
Imo State. Or use your dialect to explain what a SIM does.
SIEM wo ngwaọrụ a SOC Analyst bịara n'ọrụ.
Okay? So what does it do? You see, why I wanted to point this out is so we know that English has silently stolen away our nativity, even down to understanding. Most of us understand faster in English than our native language because understanding means knowing to the extent of breaking it down for someone
I
else.
send message saying with the credit for subscription.
I'm not hearing you. Speak up, speak up,
Then you want it.
speak up. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, you were saying something.
No. I wasn't talking to
Okay.
you. Sorry about that.
Sorry then. If you weren't talking to us, you just mute. So I'm looking for someone who can confidently use their language to explain what the SIM does, just like he would have done in English. Nobody? Okay. So
Peter, I will put that in.
you did the intro, like what you said is the same is a tool that the SOC analyst people use. Okay, but I wanted you to explain what does SIM do. Okay, in English, what does SIM do? Explain it. I don't understand what is happening this morning with the internet. I'm waiting so we could move ahead. Any progress? Anyone saving the day? In fact, 10,000 going. Mr. Brian go chop am now. Okay, so why I use little of these kind of demonstrations to explain is just to make it as simple as possible. If you know the concept behind it, behind the skeleton, then you can know what to expect from it and how to go around it. Let us look at Google. and see what Google does or says about it. Let's see how simple Google makes it. Let's see, what is SIEM in cybersecurity? Can someone read it out? Hello?
The solutions are here to organize, listen, detect, analyze, and respond to security information management.
We can't hear you. Your network is biting our ears. Ah, Mr. Fine, your network is biting our ears. Genesis Consult, can you try?
Hello?
Yes, kindly read it out for us.
Okay. It said, is a cybersecurity solution that helps organizations detect, analyze, and respond to security threats. It combines security information management and security events to provide a centralized view of security events, allowing for faster and more efficient threat detection and response.
Okay? Having key statement on allowing for faster and more efficient threat detection and response. And yesterday we saw why this was so needed. Who can remember? Why did we need this efficient threat detection and response? Why was it so needed? Hmm?
Because of the time it takes to process such more information manually.
Exactly. Exactly. We found out that it took enormous amount of time to process, to find out first, to detect and even process threats when they happen. Remember where did we get that? Which slide? Should we, a little bit downward. Okay. Yes, where we established the fact that it took over 205 days for companies to detect an attack, 80 days plus. Before the attack happened, there were indicators that were not uh, detected, and also the problematic situation where 67% of the time the attackers or the attack was being or were being detected by an external entity, not even a member of the organization. So we saw how it played out in a calendar. Okay, and we say that the root cause is lack of visibility. Even that lack of visibility, we now said, okay, let us now bring in, it gave birth to the need for security monitoring. People to stay and monitor the lines and know what is happening. When that started happening, we found out that what we had to monitor is big. Especially, computers talk to each other in logs. Computer keep logs, that is tracks. That's what they do. They keep track of happenstance, things that are happening. That's what they do. So the system servers, security solutions, network devices, these are most of the things that have been connected to what's it called? The SIEM. Sorry, the system. These are the things that we are meant to monitor. And monitoring them, we encountered a new challenge that was a very big one. I can imagine when this problem started and there weren't any solution readily available, to combat it, how they must have battled their way through until a solution came up. So we found out that it was not easy or that easy to you know read. Then also the volume that keeps coming in from it. was much. For example, 25 million logs per day or 300 logs per second, given the difficulty level of even reading one simple log. So it was a very big challenge, which now gave birth to the SIEM tool, which we say is Security Information and Event Management. So what I did was to take you guys back on why we needed a more faster and efficient threat detection and response. Okay, read down. Someone whose internet is a bit clearer, read down for us from here the more detailed explanation.
You say how SIEM works. It's data collection. SIEM system collect data from various sources within an organization's IT infrastructure, including server, application, network devices, and security tools. 2. Data analysis. The collected data is analyzed using predefined rules and algorithms to
Pulse.
identify suspicious.
Thank you.
I can hear you. Okay.
Yeah, I said pulse. Using what? Predefined rules and algorithms to identify suspicious activity or patterns. I think someone was asking a question earlier how it was being set up. The collected data is analyzed. These predefined rules and algorithms are gotten from where? Can you remember where I said most of them are gotten from? The threat intelligence platforms that create all these stuff. They keep track, just like the World Health Organization keep track of viruses, outbreaks, etc. So when something happens, they're like, okay, this looks like this, or this is this. This looks like this, or this is this. So the SIEM tool is being configured using predefined rules and algorithms and configurations to identify suspicious activities or patterns that could indicate a security threat. Kindly go ahead from number 3.
From number 3.
Yes.
Alerting. That is when a potential threat is detected. Well, I can't see your share screen again. I don't know, maybe it's my network.
Oh, but you
Okay,
can hear my
now.
voice, right?
Yeah, it's up now. I can see it now.
Okay, go ahead.
It said when a potential threat is detected, SIEM systems generate alerts notifying security teams or incident responders.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. 4. Incident response. So the security team can then use the information provided by SIEMs to investigate and respond to alerts, taking appropriate action to mitigate the threats.
Okay, go ahead. Benefits of SIEM.
Benefit of SIEMs: improved threat detection. By analyzing data from multiple sources, SIEMs can detect threats that might otherwise be missed. It's a faster incident response. SIEMs provide a centralized view of security events, allowing security teams to respond to incidents more quickly. Enhance security posture. By detecting and responding to threats, fast overall security posture. Compliance. SIEMs can help organizations meet regulatory compliance requirements such as PCI reduction. By automating threat detection and response, SIEM can help organizations reduce the cost of security operation. In essence, SIEM provide a holistic view of an organization's security landscape, allowing for proactive threat detection and fast faster incident response, untimely,
Ultimately,
enhancing its overall cyber security posture.
fantastic.
We are ultimately enhancing its overall cybersecurity posture.
Good. Thank you very much for that assistance. So this is the same tool, and like I told you guys, when you start your hands-on practical, you will be privileged to use at least some of them to search for events, get events, and look for it, get the results, and make feel of what is happening, how it works, so that when you get into the bigger organizations, you will not be lost. You already know what a SIEM tool is and how it works. So we saw the diagrammatic representation of this. Now we did a recap of we found the problem, the root cause, the solution. We also talked about what's it called? The GDPR, so the policies and compliance sections, whereby we say that due to hazards or stuff that happen in the industry, some regulatory bodies have been what's it called, instituted to help regulate how data is being managed or used in the industry. We also saw that some companies have their own SIM tools. For example, Splunk, McAfee, Microsoft, OneLab, and IBM, Wazoo, okay, etc. Now, we stopped at this part where we wanted to start looking in depth about some of the processes used by SIEM or the SOC analyst guys. So the team that makes use of the SIEM tool for monitoring is called Security Operations Center team. And a person who works in a SOC environment is called Security Analyst. Now, if you look at the pictorial diagram, you will see that basically on your level one, what you'll be tasked on is monitoring. Monitoring for alerts and malicious detections. Once you see them, then you write a report. Those reports are followed religiously because every company somehow has their own handout or playbook how they write their reports. But in the end, those reports must capture very vital um, um, IOCs or very vital points. Meanwhile, what is IOC? Can anybody remember what I said is IOC? One thousand going gone. Okay.
Identifiable.
We said that is indicators of compromise, IOC. Remember? Yeah, we talked about the trail. That the trails are the tracks or the leads that bad people leave or someone leaves behind when he comes into a system. So in cybersecurity, we call them IOC, indicators of compromise. Just like when there's an incident and the FBI goes there and the forensic detectors, they go to start picking evidence. They are looking for evidence. With those evidence, they can, do mathematics up here, down, search. Before you know it, they have come up with a solid lead to the perpetrators of that crime. So there is an analogy here that says that during medieval times, you could remember the guys when they want to go to war. At least there are people holding the spear. We have the arrow guys. We have the knife and horse guys. Then we have the big guys that always go with big animals, right? And look at the tools they use below them. we are likening this army force to what is happening in cybersecurity, especially SOC. And you're going to see how they are both alike. So we see a kingdom, let's say Ifeanyi's kingdom, the kingdom of Ifeanyi, 2000 BC. Someone wants to join? They Osage.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, good morning.
It's me, the
Um, you said?
I can hear you, sir.
Kindly mute yourself. I wanted to ask if this was your class.
Oh, sorry, I just rushed in. I didn't check it. Let me sign out.
Okay, which batch are you anyway?
I'm with batch with Jeffrey.
Jeffrey, okay, that should be by 12.
Okay,
12,
sir. Okay, sir.
12:30. Just check the groups, okay? Thank you
Okay,
very
sir.
much.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
Okay, sir.
okay. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah. So, whose kingdom is this again? Who did we say is the owner of the kingdom?
Ifeanyi.
Ah! Emperor Ifeanyi. Where is he? The emperor. Are you sleeping?
I know the emperor.
Are you fearing? You know they don't all carry you.
The emperor.
Don't worry, nobody's coming to carry anybody. So this is the Emperor Ifeanyi's kingdom. And just like any other kingdom out there, the military and all the army, everybody is set out to do their job. And we always have the guys on the watchtower. If you be observant to notice, they will always be there with some set of tools. You can, how many of you can relate with the bell and the, what's it called? The binoculars or whatever they use to look ahead to know what is the work of these binoculars. What did they use it for? Those in the tower. What did they use this thing for?
To view people from afar.
Good. Then the bell, uncle.
To give signal.
What are they? Who are they signaling?
They are signaling their own people inside. The inside people.
Okay. Of what?
Of the danger that is approaching.
Good. Fantastic. So that is the work of a SOC. You guys are the first. You guys are the first. How do I put, first layer of security whenever it comes to cyber security and businesses. So we're going to see how it plays down below. So we said the responsibility of these guys are to monitor for possible attack, then alarm or notify the army. And why are they there? What is the purpose? Their purpose is for early detection of a possible enemy attack. Then also to reduce the impact or damages of the attack. Because if you are not able to note that the enemy is on your door and the enemy comes in, you will be defeated like the Trojans defeated. Who did they defeat? Troy's in the Battle of Troy. How many of you have seen the movie? Oh, nobody in my class have seen the Battle of Troy. Okay, let's move ahead. So we see the medieval war versus cyber war. The guys against the endpoint security, network security, vulnerability assessment, and IAM. Then below we see the weapons they use. The weapons of the medieval team are the spear, the dagger, the sword, the bow, and their boom, cannon boom. Okay. Why in the endpoint security, the tools they use the antivirus, HIPS, which is host intrusion prevention system, host firewall, FAME, application control, EDR, DLP. For the network security, the firewall, IPS, email gateway, web gateway, all these tools, you might not necessarily know them for now, but with time, when you are going into as you're approaching into the industry, you'll be seeing them one after the other. Then you will be taking note of what they are, what they are used for. At this early age, if you have that time, you can also Google them out and know them for at least exam sake and for question sake. So now below we have the SOC guys and the tower guys. The SOC guys ahead of the tower guys. The tower guys use the bell and the viewing equipment. So under the SOC use SIEM, SOA, threat intelligence, and threat hunting. So again, I'm going to ask again, what is the job of the threat intelligence? Why I'm hammering on some of these things is in the industry, you will meet them very, very well. They will come up often and on. You will have to go and look for a threat intelligence platform and search for information. So when you see me hammering most times repeatedly on some concepts, those concepts have integral parts to play in your journey ahead. So what is the role or what is the purpose of a threat intelligence? What do they do? Or what is it?
Well, I'm sure that it's an information gathering system of
Okay,
potential threat.
okay, okay, fantastic. That's a nice one. So it does what it does, what it says it does. It's a threat intelligence. So if you're looking for threats and you want to gather information about threats, just go to the platforms. You'll find one or two or three or four, or find exactly what you're looking for. So what is this SOC? What do they do? We said that SOC is the first line of defense. So if you are working in SOC, just know that you are the first line of cyber defense. Then you are also the eyes and the ears of your organization or the organization security. And your work revolves around monitoring the system, detecting, investigating, responding to cyber threats. So this looks like a typical SOC analyst room. I don't know whether they still keep these formats in real life, but I work remotely and my screen almost looks exactly like this, but not as big as this. What does the SOC team does? Someone should read from the first one, the job of the SOC team. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, read.
Hello?
Yes, I'm with you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't see your screen.
Oh, can you see it now?
Yeah, I can see it too. Yes, I can see it.
So read. Monitor for alerts. Read from monitor for alerts. What does the SOC team does? Read. The SOC team monitors for alerts from the SIEM. Once that is done, they analyze the alert, then decide if it is legitimate or bad. If it is legitimate, they ignore it. If it is bad, they report it to the teams that can take corrective actions. That is how the cycle goes. And also, they help the team in stopping bad activities. So, the different roles in SOC, we have what we call the building block. In fact, I got to understand that every field or career has this building block where you get to meet the people, the process, and the technology in that field. So, the people in the SOC, we have the SOC manager, we have the level 3 SOC lead, level 2 SOC analyst, and level 1 SOC analyst. We also have the threat intelligence guys. We have the threat hunter, the forensic investigator, the incident handler, the incident response automation engineer. We also have the red team specialist. Meanwhile, where does SOC fall in? Or people who are working in SOC, are they in the red team or the blue team?
And the blue team.
Good. But recently, some red team specialists or red teamers can also assist in doing some work, because when the blue team guys, which is the SOC, when they fish out and detect these stuff that are happening and push it down to people who are supposed to take care of it, at some time some red teamers might come in to do a thorough forensic investigation or threat intelligence or automation on that particular threat to narrow it down very well. So, as a level 1 SOC analyst, look at your job role. Your job revolves around this as a level 1 SOC analyst. Read. What's the first one?
Eyes on glass monitoring.
You said?
247 eyes on glass monitoring.
Good. Second one?
Analysis of triggered alerts, usually
Yes.
following
Usually following a playbook or a guideline. Number 3 is raising ticket for validated incidents. Remember this chain. When you monitor for alerts from the SIEM, you analyze the alerts and decide if it is legitimate or bad. In fact, on this particular scenario, we have what we call uh, true positive and false positive. Can anyone explain what this means in normal language, if you understand it a bit? Someone should give it a shot. Hello? Are you guys
Yeah,
there?
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I was saying, do you have any idea what do you think true positive means in an English language? Like the word true positive, what does it mean? False positive, what do you think it means? Because probably you've not heard about it before. But men looking at the statement or the word, what do you think it means?
In this context, I think false positive, false alarm, then true positive. Maybe
You got it. So let me use what you said. You said this one is false alarm. Why this one is true alarm? So example is remember I told you that the system keeps logs of everything that is happening. It comes as an alert when someone puts in his password. Like this morning, I tried to access my GTB bank. I put my password. It says wrong. I say, I slowed down a little bit, put it again. It said wrong. I now slow down very, very well and type it one after the other. It also said wrong. Now,
wahala.
these these incidents or these things will be logged into the system as an alert, and it will say 3 login attempts failed. Are you following?
Yes.
3 failed login attempts. Now, your job is as a SOC analyst is to find out whether this is a false alarm or a true alarm. Your work, you are looking for the enemy, the bad things. So you don't want to waste your time being deceived by the empty threats. So your work is to find out if this action is being carried out by the legitimate owner, whether it is just a mistake or a system error. So for now that I am the one trying this, because after the third one, of course, I was blocked. They said your
Yeah.
account is blocked. You have to forget password, kiniko, or redo forget password. So most SIM tools are configured also to do this. When you get a login attempt, maybe 3 or 4 times under 1 minute, and they are wrong, suspend the account for so time. Some banks will block you and tell you to call the customer care or apply for a new password. All those things are measures taken. So the false alarm or the false positive is what looks like a crime, but it is not a crime. It's actually a system error or normal error. But when someone is actually trying to hack into my account and the system picks it, it becomes a true positive. Any question? Think about it for a minute. Any question?
Can you
Any
repeat it
question?
again?
You said?
Come again.
I'm asking any question.
Okay.
Do you want me to explain what I just explained again? Okay, so let's go ahead then. Our time is running fast.
Yes,
So,
please go.
Chooks, what did you say? So the SOC guys, what they do is when they monitor for the alerts, they saw that
Please
my.
explain.
Oh, okay, okay. I was trying to explain the difference between a true positive and a false positive. You're going to find this in the exam. You're going to find it all the days of your job in or as a cybersecurity personnel. True positive, false positive. And if I helped us to bring down the language down, he said false alarm, true alarm, which works very well. So the false positive is when something appears to be legit, legit in the sense that you are looking for um, you're looking for the dangerous stuffs. That is your work. You are monitoring for what's it called, alerts that show that okay, something is happening and that thing is bad. If you get an alert like that, then it is a true positive. But when you get an alert that looks like that, but at the end it was just the user that forgot his password or he's just playing around, then it's a false positive. Do you understand?
Yes, I do. Thanks.
Okay. Please, if you don't understand, always draw my attention. I will always repeat myself to explain it more further. It is very important. Understanding makes it easier for you to climb the ladder in this career. So we say that this is the job role of the level one analyst. When you are being taken as a level one analyst, these are your job roles. 247 eyes on glass monitoring, analysis of triggered alerts. You will follow a particular playbook depending on the company you are in, but those vital points will be picked when following those guidelines to write your tickets. Tickets or report, that's the same thing. That's what they call it. So you raise tickets for validated incidents, the one that you're sure you validated and know that this is bad thing happening. You raise a ticket for it. Then you also follow up with incident response team. Incident response team are those that accept or you hand over the report to. They are the ones that go the extra mile to take care of the report. So you follow up with the incident response team for remediation. Also, you can draft shifts and handovers because normally there's a lot of handovers in the level one. Sorry, there's a lot of shifts in the level one job role. Also, you will be able to assist level two and level three in reporting. These are the job roles of the level one SOC analyst. So for level two, as a level two analyst, you have an extra job. You're going to be doing a deep dive analysis of escalated alerts. You're also going to assist in incident remediation. You're also going to assist in level one. You're going to assist the level one guys in their alert analysis. You will also maintain and improve standard operating procedures and processes. Then, if there be any issues in the SIEM, you are also advised to troubleshoot. Of course, the manager will tell you or teach you how to do that. You troubleshoot the SIEM to correct any errors. As a SOC lead, your job increases also. You will install and update and upgrade SIEM solution. Now, you see where knowing how to configure the SIEM comes in. Hello? Someone asked the question yesterday. Who was the person?
I was
Yes,
the
Steve
one.
Chooks that asked that question.
Okay, now you see where the job lead comes. And these are probably like maybe 4 years into the industry or 5 years, you're already a SOC lead. Then you will know how to, you'll be tasked with installing, updating, upgrading the same solution, onboarding log sources and work on log sources. These log sources are actually the stuffs you got from threat intelligence. You onboard them and get the same solution in place. You also create and fine tune the content in the SIEM, which are the correlation rules, dashboards, reports, lists, etc. You also interact with SIEM vendors, the same vendor tax support team, to fix any issues identified within the SIEM. You also install, manage, and build content in the same tool. You see, your job is no more now in the petty stuffs like watching the screen and writing reports. You are now doing the big boys job, and of course, the pay take home check increases massively. Also, you mentor level one and level two security analysts. You assist in analysis that require involvement of multiple teams. You evaluate new solutions for SOC team. You create playbooks for all the alerts. Then you schedule shift rosters. So these are some of the jobs of the SOC lead. And as a SOC manager, your job also increases, where you define the scope, vision, and direction of the SOC team. You supervise the team, provide technical guidance, and manage financial activities. You oversee the activity of the team members, including hiring, training, and assessing staff. You develop and improve processes and procedures for the team. You ensure compliance to service level agreements, process adherence, etc., where you create compliance reports, support the audit processes, and measure the SOC performance metric. Then you are in charge of the vendor management. Then also you report on security operations to business leaders. So these roles are not just roles that you say, I want to become a SOC manager. These are roles you grow into starting from the number one. So we have the threat intel researcher who does they track and monitor vulnerability life cycles from zero-day discovery to common vulnerability exposures, ID allocation, and patch release. Who knows what a zero-day is? Who knows what a zero-day is? Any idea? Are you guys there? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Are you aware of what it is?
Hello?
Do you know what a
Yeah,
zero-day
zero
is?
day. It's it's undiscovered threat.
Okay.
It is not known to the threat the different companies. It's not to the external, but hello, I don't know if you can hear me. I want to answer.
Yes, I can hear you. You've done well. I'm going
So
to expand on what you said.
it's undiscovered threat.
Yes, I'm going to expand on what you explained, but we will do that with the
Okay.
new link that we're going to generate because this one is already exhausted. So, guys, let's join with the new link ASAP immediately. Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yes, what were we discussing before the timer went off?
We're discussing the role of a SOC, or the job description of a SOC lead. Hello, sir.
You're not correct.
I think we are talking about the role of the SOC manager. There is a progressive position.
You're also not correct. Look at what we were talking about before the timer went off. Pronounce it.
Zero.
Yes, that's what we were discussing before the timer went off. And if you watch, we were on the threat intel researcher where we say that they track and monitor vulnerability life cycles from 0-day discovery. And I asked, what is 0-day? So Chuk said something about threats that has not been discovered. Okay. So, and I said I'm going to expand on what he built. I need you guys to follow and give it your best because trust me, what we're giving out, what we're doing, the painful, you can imagine how painful or how hard it is for you. I had a man from Germany who joined the class, the program. He finished the entire course within 6 days, excluding the capstone project. He was coming in from a medical line and he wanted to, he was aiming for a cybersecurity job in his country, which is Germany. With the, how do they put it, with the competition that is high over there and the fat check, he needed to join in. This man that is old enough to be my father,
Is it Dr.
he,
Nyalo?
he said,
Is it Dr. Nyalo?
no, his name is Elder.
That's Testman, Dr. Nyalo.
Yes, you know him. Yes.
That's Testman. He was the one that recommended me.
Yes, now I remember. Good. Doc Elder finished this. God, I've not seen a man as tenacious and hungry as, like, intelligently hungry. He finished
He's
the
very,
entire curriculum on 6 days. With when I mean 6 days, every day he starts by 10 p.m. to around 12 to 1 every day. So each day I would think that he will give up, but he comes up. Ah, Mr. Brian, my brother, I've come again. Oh. So with that kind of zeal, man, I saw a man that knows what he's looking for. So do not give up. Don't let your passion go down. This 1 hour or 2 hours you've mapped out for this program, ensure you put in your best into it. Okay, don't let it go to waste because of anything. And besides that, the fact that we are not yet in a fanciful complex hall where everybody comes, AC is chilling your head, that doesn't still remove the authenticity of what we're impacting and what we're doing. So please, guys, I will need us to be up and doing. I don't know why I'm on to you guys like this. Probably I should not. I would have just relaxed on, I just do the teaching and go. But that's not how life goes, man. Value is what
Please do. We really
this.
appreciate all the effort you're putting in.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Can stay
Value
for a
is the
while.
main thing. Once there is value, then you can be proud to recommend a brother or sister. You can be proud to say, okay, I passed through this system. So we are talking about 0-day. And I wanted to expand on what Chuk said initially. And I will do that with a demonstration. Let's say some time ago that let's say let's say maybe 20 years ago, the founding fathers they put an oil pipeline on this ground, and as time grew by, it was covered up by earth, and they were no more using the pipeline again. So fast forward to 2025, UBA or any bank comes and buys a property here, and of course, they will erect their banking structure with all the security gadgets, etc., everything. Then one day, something happened. There was a robbery. While the robbery was still going on inside the bank, the policemen, the military, the FBI, they were all alerted. So they were waiting for these guys outside, and they didn't come out. They stayed there. Oh. The policemen waited and waited and waited till the day ended. So they tried to go in to even know what exactly is happening. When they got in there, they couldn't find the perpetrators of the crime. After so much ransacking and investigation, they found out that the perpetrators used the tunnel. They dug a hole and they went through the tunnel. Now, the policemen, they didn't know about this tunnel. The owners of the land, the bank, they didn't know about this tunnel. But somehow, the threat actor, which is the bad people, they got intel, they got reasonable, profitable information about this pipeline under here, which can enter a man. So they went through this manhole and had a clean hit and exited from the other side and left. So obviously they obtained the blueprint of the former layout, which has this pipeline under it. This kind of attack where the owners are not even prepared for it, they are not even aware that it exists, and so far there is not a solution on ground to tackle it, is called a zero-day attack. After that day, it is no more a 0 day because now it's been known, and steps will be taken to remediate that. Any question? Any question? Any question?
No question from my side. Well
Okay. So you understand what a 0 day attack means?
Yes, sir.
So you could say simply an attack that does not have any. Let's check what Google says about it. So we'll
Okay.
get a formal. Why I explain things practically first before looking at the official meaning is so that you know the nitty-gritty, what happens behind. Say that,
Okay.
okay, if this is what this is, then whatever the Oyibo man speaks will just be a covering. You already understand it. So we're going to ask, what is a 0 day? So read.
A zero-day vulnerability is a security flare in software or hardware that is unknown to the vendor or security community, meaning no patch or mitigation exists to address it.
Example.
Then
Yes. This allows the attackers to exploit the vulnerability
how
before the vendor can develop and release a fix, making it a critical security risk. For example, COVID-19 hit the world even when the world was not ready for COVID-19. So COVID-19 could be said to be a zero day in health sector. Do you understand, guys?
Yes.
So once it happens, it's been noticed and it's been taken care of. So we say that the threat intel researcher, that is, they are the proactive workers. They track and monitor vulnerability life cycles from zero-day discovery to common vulnerability exposures, allocation, and patch release. So these guys, they are searching. They profile and monitor specific cyber threats actors, including nation states, hacktivist groups, and campaigns to understand adversarial tradecraft along with TTPs. TTP means, what's it again? Tactics. Ah, how does this go out of my head? What is TTP? It's used in, you're going to find it in the SIEM tool when you are searching for events and stuff that happen. They are like tactics and procedures of how the vulnerability or how people, the threat actor moves from one step to the other. TTP in cybersecurity. So tactics, techniques, and procedures. So another, not actually a mistake, but another slimy language used in this part is tactics. When you see the word tactics, what will you think? What will be in your mind when you see the word tactics?
Is the skill or the pattern that is used.
Okay, that would be what would naturally come to your mind, right?
Yes.
But obviously, in cybersecurity, in this scenario, tactics now actually means the goal.
The method.
The goals. What is the goal? What is the goal of this hack? What is the goal of this incident? After the goal, the next one is the techniques. So, which methods did they use or are they going to use to perpetrate this threat? How are they going to deliver it? What steps are they going to use to deliver it? Then, after the techniques, then the procedures. What are the steps? If you are able to find this out for an impending threat, then you can know which stage they are in. Then there might be a possible way to stop them before they actualize um, everything they want to do. So, in this scenario in cybersecurity, when they say tactics, just know that what they mean is the goal. What is the tactics of this threat? So in cybersecurity, TTP stands for tactics, techniques, and procedures. It refers to the behaviors and methods used by attackers to plan and execute cyber attacks. Under the TTPs, understanding TTPs helps security professionals anticipate and defend against threats by identifying what? Patterns and indicators of compromise. I told you there are some words, phrases that you will always be meeting throughout your stay in cybersecurity. You see some of these things that will go on Google and pull up, and make sure you um, get a hand on them, go through them, read them. And so that is to say these are high level strategies or objectives. Objective is it not goals?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. These are high level strategies or objectives that an attacker aims to achieve. What is he aiming to achieve? What is his goal? When I came in new, this concept was doing me left. I was like, don't these people understand English? That this is yeah. My brother, it did me left for a long time. So when I now tutor learners, I just give them the concept right ahead, so that they won't have the same experience I got. So once you see the tactics, you know that these are the objective that the attacker aims to achieve. Such as what is his goal, his objective. He wants to gain an initial access. Then, after getting an initial access, what is his next goal? He wants to escalate his privileges, maybe move from laptop 1 to laptop 2 that is connected in the same network, or he wants to steal data. Then, what is the technique he's using? Probably he wants to exploit the vulnerability using phishing, or he wants to do brute forcing password. Then what is the steps? What is the procedures he's going to use? He said these are detailed steps and tools used to execute a technique, such as using a specific tool to exploit a vulnerability by following a certain process to gather information. So that is that on TTP, which stands for tactics, techniques, and procedures. Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Number what? Number 3. Yeah, so they crawl the dark web and deep web to identify new breaches, data leaks, etc. And they also obtain, integrate, and share threat intelligence with security partners and vendors. They conduct research to generate new threat intelligence, etc. There are some threat intelligence, in fact, major threat intelligence platforms are premium based. Major, there are some that are informations they have are high valued, so they are not free. You understand? So if you want buy Intel, if you buy the one where they free, if you see the one where they on Google, then you get the one where you go pay legit. Those one you know they for outside market. Now inside market. Now people will know will hold them. Sure your people understand me, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So read up all these other roles so that maybe while you're in the field, you might have interest in some other roles, then you can start training yourself also. So our major emphasis was on SOC, and we've dealt with that. Then SOC technologies, the technologies in SOC, we see the SIEM, we've seen the SIEM, then we've
Telling
lightly looked into the threat intelligence. Then also we have the analysis tools and the SOA, which is the uh, let's go and check it. First of all, we've already seen the SIM and example of the SIM. There is a username and a password available in a system and so on. You see possibly like 20 times errors, 20 login error within a particular, maybe in 1 minute, 20 errors. Then obviously somebody is trying to hack in or someone is trying to, they call it brute force attack. Person wants to break that entry by force. So but how does the SIM knows to alert us on such activities? This is done by writing correlation rules. A correlation rule are sets of conditions that indicate a suspicious activity. You might be able to write a single rule that said, okay, for failed login attempt for the same user that happens 20 times in 1 minute, then issue out a warning that it's possibly a brute force attack. This is a simple correlation rule. And these are the configurations that I told you that happen inside the SIEM. So we see how it plays out. Please take your time and go through these documents. I'm trying for us not to exceed our time. We have other classes coming. SOC is normally an extensive topic, but thank God we've done justice to it within these 2 days. So threat intelligence, like we all said, these are cyber. This is a place or is information about threats and threat actors that might help us mitigate harmful events, both in the future and currently. We also have them in the health sector, and who is playing, what health organization is playing a good role on that. So, example of threat intelligence platforms. As of the time when this document was compiled, we had abuse.ch, OCENT. You're going to be using OCENT more, open source intelligence platform. Open source intelligence platform, that's our, what's the name of the one we used to look up that bad guy? Who can remember?
Virus total.
Exactly. So virus data is open source, meaning it's open there in the, it's not paid for. So it is under OCENT. OCENT is open source intelligence platform. So most of the projects you'll be doing, you might be doing them under with OCENT. Google is also a part of threat intelligence. Depend if you know what to look for and where to find it. We have the autoshun.org, malwaredomainlist.com. The commercial ones, the ones that are being sold, we have IBM Exchange, Anomaly TradeStream, Palo Alto Networks, Cisco Talos, Recorded Future. So we are slowly winding down the analysis tools. A security analyst has has to analyze the alerts triggered by the SIEM tool. So we have the host, we have the process, we have the memory, LAN, internet. These are some of the tools that have to be in place. For you that is doing a home lab, you have your system probably connected to an Wi-Fi. Then you can now connect directly to platforms like the ones you're going to be using after the project, so that you'll be able to use some of their SOC industry-based SOC tools free of charge. So analysis tools, we have the Virus Total, Void, IBM Force, Process Explorer, Wireshark, Z. And in these tools, we've used Virus Total, and which other one we might be able to use during the program. Okay, your Capstone project doesn't capture any other analysis tools here, except for those who want to go away and beyond. They might use Wireshark. Wireshark is for network probing and network analysis. Autoruns also works almost like what's it called, Virus Total. So look up all these things, go on Google, look at what they are in. So SOA, we've been saying SOA all this while. It actually stands for Security Orchestration, Automation, and Response. Security Orchestration, Automation, and Response. I do not think it will come out in your exam, but just in case it does, you know it is. So this is a bit explanation of how the SIEM is being integrated into the SOA, all of them pushing out to do the work that we need the SIEM tool to do. To read this up is just light slides. So finally, we have three models of SOC. It's either you operate your SOC in-house, or you do it outsourced, or hybrid. And the deciding factors for these three types is on what? What are the deciding factors? The three of them. What's number one?
budget.
Yes, the budget of the company can determine whether they want to run the SOC in-house, outsource it, or use a hybrid. Then also the experience of running the SOC. If your team in-house do not have the experience, you have to now outsource it. Then talent and skill availability. So when you have an in-house SOC, it means that you have maybe you employ the SOC people in your company, or you train them in-house to stay and monitor your systems. Or you outsource, you go to an MSSP, meaning managed security service provider. You outsource it to them. Or the third one, where you do hybrid. The hybrid is where you can actually have some team, some of your guys, monitoring, and also outsource some part of it. And that is that in SOC. I believe this introduction in SOC will or has been able to open your eyes into more into the industry about what is happening in cybersecurity. I tell people it's not just about jumping up and I want to do cybersecurity. I mean cybersecurity. You need to have an ample understanding of where you're going in, what is happening there, and how to get in. Please, before the end of the program, find a particular place you want to anchor so that you stay there and build capacity. That is how you succeed in the industry. Then, over the years, you will be able to extend your hands to some other parts. And that's my advice and my closing remark for the day. If you have any question or contribution, I'm available. If there are no questions or no contributions, we could all say goodbye and I will
So
get some editing.
my mine is not no more of a question though.
Okay?
I think this week we had from a demo with Chef. I don't know if you heard about them.
Okay?
The idea of the meeting was for them to provide a SIEM service. But what the product that they are providing, which is Chef, um, they said they will be the SOC managing the solution internally, of which I
Okay?
have a kind of concern about it in a way. But the way they explained it, they said they will be sending quarterly reports, monthly reports if need be.
Okay?
And so I'm trying to understand what will now be our role if to a large extent they are the one providing all this high level security information.
Okay.
I don't.
Um, if I'm to advise, if I'm in the advisory board, I would
Mhm.
assign one of the staff to resume and join them if that's under the service level agreement. Or I would train one of our staff to be ready to receive the job from them whenever they are done because you guys might not be able to run the what's it called outsourcing for long. Now they want to play the monopoly,
Okay.
giving you people only high value results. So you people don't know what is happening below. Even though necessarily the company does not really need to bother itself that much on what is happening in-house. But what they should be careful about is monopoly of service, and that is why there has to be an in-house person.
Then
You are close.
another thing that is my major concern is the level of information that they'll be exposed to. I agree there might be an SLA,
Yes,
probably an NDA, but then
yes,
um, once they've been able to get such level of privilege, just like you said, they'll monopolize whatever
Yeah.
information they have and use it against. So that was actually my stand, because I was actually thinking that maybe they have like a SOC solution that we can use internally and probably do the monitoring ourselves.
Is
Do you
what you're still saying can work, but you see that training has to come. They have to be
get?
a training for the in-house team, because when you see when you have this kind of high value informations or data or assets that you wouldn't want to risk it on the open out there, no matter who the security personnel is, then the closest
Exactly.
option is to train your guys in-house, then run the SOC in-house. So else from that, whoever you still
Uh,
employ to do that will have that information.
and that brings
And
us to what you just listed, which is a deciding factor: budget.
yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I understand. I understand. Okay. What I might be able to do is maybe we'll talk this off class. I'll look at ways and platforms to organize for maybe if you people can push out. I don't know the budget, but I will see whether I could draft out something for you guys so that you see how it can be done. See whether the budget fits into what you people can afford, so that you can have your team members, even if it is two or three or one person, to assume that role of a SOC analyst to basically monitor the because one thing is to set the systems up, another thing is to monitor, another thing is to respond to the uh, alerts or the events when they come up. See, so it's a chain of activities. The person that is monitoring might not necessarily be the person that is going to be responding to these alerts, because the response team, just like the fire response team, they are trained specially for that, so they know what to do. So while they are doing that, the monitoring team is still monitoring real time. So at the minimis budget, you could see that one person is monitoring 24/7 on his shift. While he's monitoring, there's an incident that is raised. So the incident responder is on that, while the other guy is still monitoring for any newer stops and any newer changes. Then why the incident responders are taking care of what is happening. So you could have two or three people on that particular job role. So I might just look at some solutions out there that might be able to train you guys with some good budget at least. But we'll look at it anyhow. Just remind me within the week and weekend to make a
Okay.
certain plan.
All right. All right. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate. Please stay safe and stay fired up. Okay. Bye bye.
Thank you.